Okay. Yay! We should be working. Hello, my friend. Welcome to a live chat. Yes. Woohoo! I'm getting used to this new way that YouTube is having me go live. I think we're good. Thank you, kiddo. I appreciate you. Thank you. My daughter helped me set up, so that was nice. Hello, hello. Welcome to live chat. We've got some interesting things to talk about this week. I do have to say very quickly that I'm missing my microphone and my headphones. I don't like not having them. It's like a security blanket. It makes me feel so official and fabulous, and it covers up all my flyaways, and it just makes me so happy, and I miss them. So I'm hoping my mic gets fixed soon, even though this does seem to be working functionally. I don't like it as much. I miss it. So today we're going to be talking about Patrick Starr's Rare Beauty review, and I'm going to kind of give you my opinion and my take as someone who's been reviewing products on YouTube pretty much as long as Patrick's been doing makeup on YouTube. I'm sure, I think we've been on the platform about the same amount of time, not counting my channel before. So, he's focused mostly on, he's very extremely talented in applying makeup. He does have some reviews on his channel, but he seems to be more focused on like the comedy aspects where he did, little skits and things, and he's very talented, challenges and things like that. So, as someone who focuses mostly on reviews, I wanted to give my take on what I thought about it, just in case you care. If you don't care about my opinion, if you don't like me, if you don't want to know what I have to say, there are plenty of things to watch. There's Netflix, there's Hulu, there's HBO Go if you're on your phone. There's, Disney Plus if you want. There's so many things you can watch. So, and not even counting YouTube. So if you're not interested, then that's okay. And I hope you have a wonderful day. So we're going to be talking about that today. And then I've got a couple of other topics. We're going to be talking about the Revolution and Fenty product, just because not Fenty, oh my gosh, Revolution and Friends product. I am so interested in that. So I want to touch on that as well. So very quickly, I want to say hello to the people that are here live in the collective brain of Makeup Awesomeness, because this is not just my chat. It is the chat of the collective brain. We're all going to be talking like one giant brain and thinking about and discussing our opinions, because that's what makes everybody better, I think, is when we're all listening and talking and kind of sharing experiences. Because if we only see things from our own perspective, it really stunts our growth as human beings. So thank you to the collective brain for being here. Monica somehow snuck in early. I don't know what happened. She's like a commenting ninja. I don't know. She like snuck in the crack. It was like, poof, 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 poof. Somehow she made it in. Susanna made it in a little early. Susanna made it in a little early as well. Thank you for being here. Teresa is here, Kat is here, Megan and Michelle, Consuelo, welcome back, Marissa, welcome back, and to everybody in the collective brain, Elite, thank you so much for being here. Caitlin is here, Mander, Jack is here, Alyssa, and Teresa's reminding everybody to like and share. That does help me so much. Thank you so much. Classically, Diana is here. I think I already said good morning to Sarah. I'm pretty sure. Did I say good morning to Sarah? No, sometimes I forget halfway through. Sarah, good morning to you. Ginger Jeannie is here. Sororjan is here. And Catherine, Saucer Jess. Hello. Josie, Liz's Luscious Life. And Casca is here. Jen Unboxed. Welcome. And thank you to everyone else that I did not say good morning to. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. And, okay. So before we get started, I do want to give a quick shout out, two quick shout outs. First, shout out to James and Robert Welsh. Podcast is #1 in fashion and beauty for the first time in Canada. It is called The Double Cleanse. It is a fabulous skincare and makeup podcast with the Welsh twins. So if you have not been listening, I wanted to give that a quick shout out and congratulations to James and Robert Welsh. Sorry about that. I also wanted to tell you that I'm wearing my Lagutta Gang t-shirt. I am officially a member of Lagutta Gang, which is Audra at Home's community. I am now on her Patreon, so I get to watch her videos early, and I am telling you, if you are not subscribed to Audra at Home, she has a fabulous skincare video coming up that it's an ASMR style, and it is so funny. I laughed out loud multiple times, maybe just because I'm biased because she's my friend, but I laughed out loud multiple times. So if you're not subscribed to Audra at Home, go check her out. She's amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into this. Okay, so Patrick Starrr, who, if you do not know, is a makeup artist. I believe he also has like a consulting business where he helps people who are trying to get into social media. I think he's still doing that. And then he also has a makeup company that just came out called One Size that launched at Sephora. I did do a review of the first products that came out, which were the makeup removal products. They were makeup wipes and a spray. Those came out. I did a full review of those if you're curious about that. I did not review the makeup. The only makeup that I got of his was this, which is one of the glitter toppers. I didn't want to do a whole nother review. If they had all come out at the same time, I probably would have gotten some of the makeup stuff and done it all at the same time, but I didn't want to do two. I don't know. It just felt weird to do two. So I did, but I was interested in this because I love me a glitter topper. So this is going to come in probably in, oh, you know what? I talk about it in my next video, which should be out Monday or Tuesday. The glitter eye topper, I mention it, I think toward the end of the video. So anyway, I digress. So Patrick is coming under criticism for a couple of reasons for this video. Number one reason is that throughout the video, he mentions his own brand multiple times. So what I did was I edited the clips together so that you could see what people were upset about, and then we'll talk about it. So let me go ahead and flip over.
It's very interesting. Celebrity brands have been popping up, but when I say out of all the celebrity brands that have come out thus far, aside from mine, One Size, because makeup is a one size fits all. So really quick, they sent us a beautiful PR box, which I am obsessed with. They give us this like little pamphlet. We have a liquid liner for $19. Mine is also $19. Point made. But I also want to add, looking up close, I could still see a little bit of the blue in my facial hair, which...
So this isn't exactly a mention of One Size. Oh wait, hold on a minute. Slow mode's on. I can, hold on. I think that it's doing the thing. Sorry, my head moderator is asking for slow mode. I do have it on, but I'm going to turn it off and turn it back on again because I don't know if it took. I did that same thing last week. Okay, sorry. So anyway, talking to myself. So this isn't exactly a mention, but it is the mirror. So he's kind of pitching it in that way. Okay, let's keep going.
It's kind of a little bit off, and there's a lot of product, which I think is very, very nice. Are y'all tired of seeing my ad? My ad has been seen.
Okay, so I thought this was really interesting that right in the middle of the video, there's a literal commercial.
Everywhere on TikTok, in Times Square, in Instagram, on YouTube. I've been getting so many comments like, oh my God, Patrick's visionary ad is everywhere. Visionary. So in Rare Beauty, there are no eyeshadows in the line just yet. So I went ahead and I used my Visionary palette and I used a little bit of soft serve just all over the eye and around the eye just for a natural look. You associate these kind of ergonomics when it comes to product development. I know I'm getting a little bit nerdy, but that's just how I've been working on my brand because I have a brand in Sephora as well. If you prefer a stiff pen, then do that. But I like more of a thin, not flimsy, but more flexible pen, which is my Point Made eyeliner by One Size Beauty. That gives me that. And if you look a little bit up close in person, it's a little bit, compared to my lashes, a little bit more gray. I personally feel, take it as you wish, biased, unbiased, that it does look a little bit lighter than mine. You know what? Let's just do a side-by-side swatch. This one right here, guys, is...
This is what he got the most criticism for, I believe, is this direct comparison, and just basically, it feels like an advertisement here. It feels like a, look how bad Rare Beauty is and look how good mine is. You should buy mine instead. That's what this comes off as. I don't know if that was intentional, but that's the way it comes off.
Rare, and this is Point Made by One Size Beauty. When I tell you I was so literally picky with the color, we challenged our lab to make it super, super black. So this is mine, and I think I prefer mine over Rare. That's just me. So if you guys see One Size Beauty Point Made is a felt tip, and then the Rare Beauty is a brush tip, and the felt tip is a little bit more flexible than the brush tip just because it's a little bit wider, as you can see, and there's more flexibility, but that's just my opinion. And on One Size Beauty there's a little bit of a comfort grip. And really quick, if you want more of the drama, go with Point Made, and if you want something a little bit more natural, Rare Beauty liner works. I'm not opposed to it. It works really well. I just prefer it more black and a little bit more flexibility for my eye.
All right, let me go ahead and. Okay, so let me see what the community's saying first. All right. Liz says, not okay, you're reviewing a brand, don't sell yours in the same video. Rachel says, yeah, he never did it with mentioning his stuff, he overdid it with mentioning his stuff, not a good look. Van says, the way he responded to the criticism is even worse in my opinion, and the kill him with kindness thing was just bad. Caitlin says, I picked up 3 items from Rare Beauty and I love them all. The foundation is my new favorite. Roswell Baby did not enjoy his review. Erin says, Rare Beauty's response was so classy though, good for them for taking the higher ground. Eileen says, I have less issues with the side-by-side because in reviewing there is value in comparing swatches. He should have done like 2 other brands to not make this seem like an ad. You know, and actually I was thinking the same thing, Eileen, as I was watching it. Like, I know he has to have a drawer full of eyeliners that are similar. And if he had swatched a bunch of them, then it would have seemed less like an ad. So yes, he mentioned his one size many, many times. And I feel like that is the biggest criticism. Okay. All right, let me go ahead and show you the next thing he's being criticized for. And I'm going to give all my opinion stuff near the end. Let me show you. Okay. So the other thing he's being criticized for is, well, at least in my, well, you know what? I didn't read a lot of criticisms of this, but I feel like this is something that I wish were a little better, is that he does make quite a few mistakes using the products throughout the video where he doesn't use the products correctly. Even at one point he says, should I just start this video over because I should have done X, Y, and Z. And he doesn't seem to have a lot of knowledge of how the products work. I didn't put all of them in because I didn't want to do too many clips from the video. But let me just show you this real quick. This is about 47 seconds.
It worked out. And I used this for my face and I forgot about the brushes. Oh my God, I am so dumb. I totally forgot there was a foundation brush and a concealer brush. Should I redo this tutorial? I was so about the sponge. I didn't even use it. Since there was no powder to set my face, and y'all know if you are oily like me, I have to set my face. I set my foundation and my concealer, which was a big mistake because I forgot to use the blush and the highlighter because they are liquid. Oh my God, I'm so gagged. I totally forgot to do the blushes. I want to start incorporating that routine of putting liquid blush on top of my foundation, which is...
So this I think is really interesting. So it seems that he applied the blush, it didn't blend properly, so he covered it with concealer. I wish that had been in like real time, like he had shown like how that process went, because it almost seemed like when he was showing how it looked nice, like it would have been nice to see that whole process from beginning to end. Him applying it, him, you can see it in chunks, but I don't know, like linear thinker here. So it was hard for me to see that. But anyway, let me just show you how it ends up.
Right here, fixing my mistakes.
So he covers it up with a lot of concealer, and it ends up looking really pretty on him.
Liquid highlighter, which I actually really love too.
Okay. I didn't show this part, but he also was talking about the brow product, how he wasn't sure about like one side was pull off, one of them was twist off, and then when he gets the eyeliner, he accidentally twists off the bottom of it and then pulls the top. So it's clear, this seems like a first impression to me, which there's nothing wrong with, but it just didn't seem like he had spent much time before reviewing it. So I think that, if you're going to do a first impression, I think it's important to clarify that and say this is a first impression. Because, recommending products that are, he does mention that they are competitive. They're not Chanel, they're not Dior, but prices that are at Sephora, $19, $22, $24 is a lot of money to a lot of people. So to recommend products on a first impression without making it clear that it was a first impression and they hadn't really been tried very long, I think could have been a little better. I'm nitpicking though. That's kind of a nitpick. But I don't know. I just, like, at one point, you know, how he was saying, you know, should I start this video over again? I feel like that probably would have been a good idea. And actually, my video that I do on, that you'll see on either Monday or Tuesday, I actually started that video and ended up doing it over because I realized that I messed some things up on my base. So I actually started that video over again. It's okay as a reviewer to realize that you aren't representing the products properly and to redo it. So that's kind of like how I felt about that. But one thing I also, well, actually, let me go over to the collective brain, and then I'll show you one more set of clips, and then I'll give you my full thoughts on all of this, and let's talk about it. Michelle says he's setting up the brand to look bad when it might not be. Miranda says, yeah, he should have done it over. Connie says, I totally should have agreed. He should have clarified it was a first impression. Monica says he should remove it. Caitlin says he honestly should have reviewed he shouldn't have reviewed Rare Beauty because their vibe is totally different than One Size, so don't even really seem like it's a competition. And that's one thing I wanted to mention too, is that he is a very full glam person. There's no doubt about it that Patrick Starrr is extremely full coverage, full glam. That's the look that he likes. And Rare Beauty just isn't that, it just isn't that style of makeup. I honestly, like, owning the Rare Beauty foundation, wearing it on my face today, I don't know how he got it that full coverage. He must have layered it quite a bit because it really does look very full coverage on him. But I think that's a compliment to it because, like, I'm wearing it today. It's a nice medium coverage for me. You know, I don't know. I just don't think that necessarily it was his preference. And I think he was being honest about that it wasn't his preference. But he said that quite a bit. This isn't my preference, this isn't my preference, this isn't my preference. But I think an add-on to that would have been nice to say if this a little bit more, because he did say it a couple of times, a little bit more of, if you like more of this, then you'll really like this because it does this. But, I mean, he can only review it from his own point of view, and his own point of view is that he likes more full coverage. Kai says, I love your lips today. I'll tell you what's on my lips during the intermission in about 15 minutes. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Robin says, bringing out his eyeliner along with all the shout outs and promo made me never want to try his line. Summer says he's obviously worried that Rare Beauty is going to outdo him by mentioning his brand so much. Possibly. But I mean, it is a competing brand, but I feel like they're so different. The products they launched were completely different. The vibe is completely different. I don't know. And I think that every brand that's in Sephora is a competing brand. I mean, I don't know why singling out Rare Beauty is something that needs to be done, but I don't know. I don't know if that was intentional, though. Pretty Psyched says, I don't watch a lot of his videos, but I wonder if he would do this with Glossier, too. Yeah, I don't know. He did mention Glossier at one point. Yeah, Kyle says, but he just said to buy One Size. He did. That's true. And that shows that there is a competition there. Absolutely. Diana, if you're creating your brand, that means you can't objectively review products that aren't your own brand. You lose credibility and trust from your followers, in my opinion. See, I don't know about that, because if you look at like Manny's reviews, you know, I feel like it is possible to still be a good reviewer. I just feel like I can't remember who said it earlier, but I feel the same way in that if he had done the Rare Beauty one, his Ofra, Physicians Formula, you know, done like quite a few swatches and compared them, because I honestly agreed with what he said about the eyeliner, because it is and we'll talk about this in my full review because I am working on a full review. Hopefully I'll be filming that for you next week. But it is very fat and it makes it more difficult to control. It's very sharp at the tip and very fat at the bottom. So it's hard to get a small wing with it. And his, from what I saw in the shape, would probably be easier. I don't think he's not speaking the truth. I think it's just because it was his brand. I think they came off as tacky, in my opinion. Jamie says the commercial of his own brand was definitely tasteless. Yeah, Rocio says his launch was late July and people totally forgot about it by August, and Rare Beauty's launch was just announced. I don't know if people forgot about it. I think that's just normal, though. I think people will forget about Rare Beauty in 2 months. You know, I think that's just the way that our market works. I don't think that it's a thing against him. That's just my opinion, but I can see where you're coming from, Rocio. Michelle says it's possible to review objectively, but apparently not for Patrick. Maybe Maybe. Mary Lou says, I kind of feel like he should have known that Rare Beauty was more natural. He had the booklet. True, good point. If I was him, I would have just skipped this one or taken out 1 or 2 items and done a get ready review. Very good point, Mary Lou. I think hindsight's 2020, you know, hindsight's definitely 2020. So one thing I wanted to show you, and this is about a 2-minute clip, is all of the compliments that he paid to the brand, because I think that's something that often gets left out of a review that's criticized, is how many times a positive thing is said, because the negative is so much easier to focus on, and that's just human nature. So I think it's also important to really see that. So let's go ahead and watch that real quick.
Brand is so new, so intriguing. So really quick, they sent us a beautiful PR box, which I am obsessed with. They give us this like little pamphlet. I love this. Now, if you are the brand, this was genius. I love the idea that you guys included all the information. This was really helpful for me as a YouTuber to review. Props to y'all. Now this is what the brand looks like. It is very clean, it is very sleek, hence like these little tops, which I love. They have launched 48 foundations, super impressive. It is not like super like out of pocket, like crazy expensive, which I love. The primer is really gorgeous. I love how it comes in a little pump. I actually like this a lot. Ooh, this is cute. The glow is there. You guys see? It's working all together, which I'm really impressed by the formula. I applied a little bit of the liquid highlighter, which I actually really love too. This highlighter, to me, the packaging, the quality of it looks like $30 to me, but it's $22, and there's a lot of product, which I think is very, very nice. Are y'all tired of seeing my ad? How cool, and it's only $22.
Yeah, it was like right after that compliment, there was the clip of the ad for his brand, which I thought was really weird. But I just, I just want to throw the timing there on that one.
So if you think about it, you kind of get 2 products in one for $11 each. Now that is innovation. So I did the clear shade in the color Honor, and I applied that on my lips. I really definitely love it, and I'm definitely putting it in my purse right away. And what's really cool is that there's like a little bit of a flat back on here. The logo is right here in the little R, and it's really gorgeous. And I love the formula, it feels great on my lips. Overall, I love the brand. It's very clean, it's very fresh, it's very natural. Now it's time for my recommendations. I love the concealer, it's great. It really blended well, especially on top of my powder when I was trying to blend it on top of my bake and with the liquid blush. The liquid blush, I just want to start incorporating into my routine, just because you guys know my blush dusts off and disappears into thin air. And I love the lip balm, which is going straight in my bag in the shade Honor. Thank you. And last but not least, I love the color Flaunt, just because it gives me that radiant glow. And those are my favorites, you guys.
Okay. So at the end, he could have talked about all the things that he didn't like and chose to leave that out and just focused on the positive, because this is why I wanted to play that, because I feel like, like I was saying earlier, that when something that we feel icky about happens, it's hard to focus on and see that there were positive things that he said. There were things he brought out that he thought were wonderful about the brand. It was just overshadowed by the plugs for his brand and him just in general just being unprepared to film the video, in not knowing what products he had, not understanding how they worked. You know, so was it a good review? No. It wasn't, in my opinion. But, however, I personally don't feel like it's something to be so incredibly up in arms about that we think that Patrick is now this horrible, terrible person. Yeah, it was a bit tacky, but it's like, okay, so what happened next was... And Leslie says he did a bad job of editing the video. I don't think he edited it, but I have a feeling somebody edited it for him. At least it seemed that way, but it was like that a little bit. I do feel like the editing was a little bit off. So yeah, Cosmic Slice says Patrick knew though that this video would get a lot of clicks and wanted to maximize promoting his own brand during it. I think that, yeah, this is what I think. I think that, you know, Selena Gomez's Rare Beauty is a huge launch. It's why a lot of people are putting up reviews for it, because it's getting views, because people are interested in it. So yeah, absolutely. And the job of us on YouTube is to create content that people want to watch. So I do feel like it was tacky to mention his brand so many times, but at the same time, like, is this really the sin that's going to bring Patrick Starrr down? I don't think so. I think that's kind of crazy. I mean, it's like, you know, I almost like we don't have anything really horrible to talk about, so this is going to be the most horrible thing, is that Patrick was promoting his brand during a review of another brand. I don't know. That's just the way I feel about it. And let's go on to kind of the aftermath of it. I think this part's important, is to talk about the aftermath. So he ended up getting a lot of dislikes on the video. So he turned off the likes and dislikes, so now you can click it, but only he can see it. And he also put up an Instagram story talking about it. Now, if I meant to, I didn't put it in the video description, but I will. Truth Sleuth has the clips from his Instagram stories. I definitely recommend you go check out her video where she has all the clips and gives her commentary on it, where he's basically kind of saying, you know, if you don't want an authentic review, why am I here? You know, should I not even review celebrity brands? Because I want to give an authentic review, and this was my authentic, you know, thoughts. But I don't think that was why people were critiquing it. I think people were critiquing it because of the pretty obnoxious, in my opinion, promotion of his own brand. So I don't think he quite got that. But I can see why he turned off the likes, dislikes. I'm surprised he hasn't turned off the comments, because they get intense. I think a lot of people think when people are being sensitive, it's because people have valid criticisms, and they're being sensitive over the valid criticisms. If you look at the top of the comment section, there are valid criticisms that are very heavily liked. They're not mean, they're not rude, they're not cruel, they're not unkind. They're just pointing out the shortcomings of the video. But if you sort the video by the newest comment versus the most popular comment, you'll find a lot of cruelty, a lot of things that just are digs and mean. And I wanted to show you that because I think that this doesn't get shown enough. So I went to the video this morning and I just captured the most recent comments that would bother me if it were my video. So your products are so expensive for cheap looking packaging. Rare Beauty looks better and it's cheaper. I mean, when you work on something for so long and you work so hard to read that thing, I mean, is it the meanest thing I make it say? No, but it's hurtful. Came here just to dislike this video. You're so arrogant and full of yourself. Yep, it comes with fame. I remember how happy I was when you got your first deal with MAC. It was well earned. You forgot about that. We didn't. You're not the person anymore, or you've been hiding your true persona. I don't like you the way you are now. Why are you do the I'm so knowledgeable and this? Yeah. So there's that. I copied 10 of them. This is just the most recent ones. Not gonna lie, this video is trash. Can't even watch the whole video. Calling him a douche, talking about unsubscribing. You're an embarrassment. If your brand was doing so good, why do you feel the need to plug your own brand while reviewing another? Selena's brand is minimal makeup, not full coverage. Beat, unsubscribed. I mean, imagine getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. I mean, are they the worst thing ever? Probably not, but they're not fun to read. You're an did I get it? Okay, yep. You're an embarrassment. If your brand was doing so good, why'd you feel the need to plug your own brand while reviewing another? Selena's brand is minimal makeup, not full face coverage. Unsubscribed. I'm reading them because in case anyone's listening. You sound so bitter and jealous through this whole video. I don't know why you even reviewed this if all you were going to do is promote your own the whole time because it flopped. Used to be a huge fan, but I'm so disappointed in you. I mean, these they wear on you. It's like if you skin your knee and then you fall again and you fall again and you fall again, it gets painful after a while. Let me see if I can find where I was. I'm getting lost in my own clips. Hold on. Okay, this one. You finally get your real karma, Patrick. Goodbye, girl. Totally canceled. No wonder you didn't like this makeup line, bro. You look like Humpty Dumpty. Rare was made to enhance natural beauty, which you don't have. I mean, that's just mean. That's just mean and unnecessary. As someone who doesn't wear makeup, Rare Beauty is something I could actually see myself using and wearing. Not everyone paints like a GD drag queen. Don't use your own unrealistic standards on something you're too ignorant to understand. And that's the last one that I captured. I mean, on their own, they're really not that bad. But when you see that over and over and over and over and over and over again, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming and it's hurtful. And yes, he needs to take responsibility for the way that he chose to review the products, learn from it. But it's hurtful. It's hurtful when it comes down to it. Yeah, Britt says, I don't think it's something to cancel over, just not smart on his part. Caitlin says, oh my goodness, people shouldn't definitely be commenting on his appearance that way. Caitlin, did you see Juvia's Place response to this? I saw it through Truth Sleuth. So she has a video on that as well, where Chi was saying that Manny and Patrick were not kind, I think is what the short of it was, when she flew them out to, I don't want to misrepresent because I don't remember the exact details of it. But again, go over to Truth Sleuth and she has a video on that. I believe that was around the time that I met Manny and Patrick, and I agree that they were not kind people back then. I've told that story many times, but I do feel like, that was many years ago, back when Manny and Patrick were hanging out. Audra said, like, people cannot like what you said and also not be mean and personally attack you. Exactly. And I think the conception sometimes when someone gets hurt by comments, they feel like, people are getting hurt by those most popular comments that are just constructive, when really there's a lot of hidden things that and it wears you down, especially when you have such a big platform like Patrick. My point is I don't feel like this is something to leave those kinds of comments about. And flounce messages and saying unsubscribe, it's really unnecessary. If you really don't like someone, just unsubscribe. And look in the comments and see, like, if you're feeling upset about something, look in the comments and see if other people have said the exact same thing. If other people have said the exact same thing, why does it need to be reiterated over and over and over and over and over again? It's just not necessary. I think he gets the point. Thank you, Jenny, for joining the elite. I appreciate you so much. Genus, I think it's Gina. I'm going to try. Hopefully I got it right. Gina. Oh, Gina. It even says Gina next to it. I'm a moron. Sorry. People can be so cruel. You're trying to make a point about his review, but don't stoop down to crappy level and personally attack him. Exactly. Absolutely. I totally agree. Yeah. Samya says he didn't get why the response is bad. And it did feel that way. If you go over to Truth Sleuth's video, it did feel that way. He didn't quite understand why people were upset. Hopefully he does now. I have a feeling he probably won't watch this video, but I think that hopefully maybe this would help a little bit. Crampin Sasquatch says, I feel like some of the mean comments were just tween fans of Selena. Yeah, when you see a K-pop person as the little avatar, that's probably a younger person. And I think that was the meanest one, was the one that looked, yeah. So, yeah, Emmy says attacking someone personally because you're unhappy the video is rude and unnecessary. And I don't think that gets shown a lot. And that was why I wanted to mention that. All right, we are 32 minutes in, so it's time for our break. I just want to make sure that I've mentioned everything I want to mention. I took some notes before. I wrote, even if you take out all the mentions of one size, he's very much reviewing the products for people that apply makeup like he does, very glam and very heavy. And there is a market for that. It's not I would imagine it's a smaller market, but maybe it isn't. Maybe I just don't know. And I said he doesn't seem to have much knowledge of the product before applying, which affects the review. It seems to be a first impression. He does pay a lot of compliments, but the critiques come off as especially ick because of the comparison to one size. It comes off like an ad, and the compliments are overshadowed by the comparisons, is what I wrote. And I also wanted to mention, this is something I forgot to mention, is I did watch his Fenty Beauty review, and I wanted to see if it was the same of the Fenty skincare. The first 4 minutes of the Fenty skin video is an ad for the one size makeup removal products, basically. So he's demoing the removal products. But when he uses the Fenty cleanser, he doesn't compare the makeup removal products. What he says is that they complement each other. So he says what he would do is he would use the one size as a first cleanse and use the Fenty cleanser as a second cleanse. And that's the way I felt about the Fenty cleanser. The Fenty cleanser too was that it's a great second cleanse. So he instead of comparing them and saying, well, mine removes makeup better, he said you can use them together, which I think makes a huge difference as far as the way that came off. And that video was much better received. It didn't come off as buy mine instead of hers. And I think that was the difference in that review. He did go on his IG stories and address it, watch Truth for the clips. It sounded like he was feeling like his audience may not have wanted an authentic review based on the feedback. And it wasn't that people didn't want him to be authentic. I think it came off as kind of an unfair review, as he didn't seem familiar with the products or how they work, so it wasn't as helpful as it could have been. And not all of my reviews are completely informed. I've definitely reviewed things and not quite understood things before, so this isn't a cardinal sin. As someone who primarily does reviews, I don't see like this as being like a huge, cardinal sin's probably not the right word, but I don't see this as being like a huge, big, you know, thing. It happens sometimes where you just don't have the knowledge. But because there was so many comparisons or mentions of one size, it almost felt like a hit piece at times in order to sell one size. It could have been unintentional, but that's the way it came off, as more of a hit piece. So that was what I wanted to say. I just want to make sure I read all my notes so that I didn't miss anything. And let's take a little bit of a break and I'll tell you what's on my face today. And then we're going to move on to Revolution and Friends. And then we will pop topics if you like. So on my eyes today, I had people asking if it was the Natasha Denona palette. It is not. I decided to skip the new Natasha Denona palette because I did do the one before, the bronzier one. So this is the Sydney Grace Enduring Love Palette. And on my eyes today, I blew out Cherish like all over the outer corner in my lid. And then not Cherish, Passion. I forget that the names are on the top. Passion. And then on my lid, I have Albert in the outer corner and I have John in the inner corner. And then I did on the lower lash line a little bit of Boaz and then a little bit of Passion, and then Romeo is on the inner corner, and that's my highlight. So this is a fabulous palette. It has been out for a bit. This was sent in PR. I love this palette. I love Sydney Grace. It makes me happy. And I wanted to do a nice cool tone look to match with my Lagata Gang t-shirt. Go subscribe to Audra at home. She always tells me that I don't need to mention her, but I like to mention her because she's amazing. Okay, so on my cheeks today, this was also sent in PR. This is the IT Cosmetics Celebration Foundation in Light. They sent this to me and it was too dark. So I use this to just kind of warm up my complexion. I use it kind of as a bronzer. So I put a little bit on here, I put a little bit on here, and I really like using it for that. So if you're looking for a more natural like bronzer situation, consider getting a powder foundation that is just a little bit too deep for you. And it's such a natural way to bring some definition to your face. I learned this from this product, so and from watching other videos, of course. Audra says, LOL, I love you, my friend. I love you too. We talk literally every single day, multiple times a day. So, all right. Okay, on my cheeks today, this was purchased. This is the Lorac blush in the shade Luma. I'm not sure if this is still available, but it is just a bright pink, and I thought that would look fun with my gray tones. It is very, very nice. And then on my highlight, this I believe was PR. This is the CoverGirl True Blend Super Stunner, and this is in the shade Pearl Crush. And this is a beautiful highlighter. Lasting power is not fabulous, but it is nice and glowy and beautiful, and it blends into the skin. Absolutely gorgeous, darling, gorgeous. So that, oh wait, and on my lips today, I almost forgot, is Rare Beauty. This is the lip balm in Appreciate. And I wanted to show you this. Let me get my mirror real quick. Just as a little preview of my review because I can't hide things. Okay, so I have like a very sheer layer on right now, but you can like build this up and make it more like a lipstick. So that's 2 layers. And that's 3 layers. So I think these are really fun. I think these are really fun because you can go with it and really make it a lipstick, or you can make it truly like a tinted lip balm. I have a little dry spot. It's getting a little stuck. That's not the lipstick's fault. That's my fault for not properly exfoliating my lips. All right, let me check in with the collective brain real quick, and then I will, let's talk about Revolution, and I keep saying Fenty and Friends. Let's see. And Steph says, I don't know, I still don't know how to use blush. And I think, honestly, a lot of makeup application techniques, it really depends on your face shape. And I know a lot of people already know this, but I think it really depends on your face shape. And sometimes watching tutorials is not helpful because your face shape is different than the person you're watching. So even watching tutorials, sometimes it's difficult to get that to translate to your own face. So don't feel bad about that. You know, we just have to, I think sometimes we have to forget what people have told us and just look and see what looks good on our own face. That's my thought. Oh, name of the lipstick. Thank you so much, Vivian. This is in the shade Appreciate, if I did not say. Thank you so much. Caitlin says, I have the lip balm and the color lasts much better than other balms. Not crazy moisturizing, but I really like it. Yeah, it's very smooth. I wouldn't say it's very moisturizing, but it is very smooth. It's very emollient. Telestra says, I've been rocking the Lolita blush just below my highlight, closer to the corners of my eyes. My partner thinks it looks adorable. Nice. Cosmic Slice, I have to change out my foundation shade, way darker than the Pix on Sephora. Oh my gosh, I had a big problem with that. We'll talk about that in the review. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Revolution and Friends, which I'm actually quite excited about. Now, I used to watch Friends back when it was on. I used to watch it sporadically. I've probably seen maybe half the episodes, but it has literally been 20 years since I've watched them at least. So I don't know. I don't remember a lot of it. I need to go back in and just rewatch it. I've heard some of it's super cringe, but I haven't watched it in a really long time. So where I got my information was from, why aren't these clicking? Okay. So there's an Allure article that is linked down in the video description. You can watch the whole thing read the whole thing. Let me make sure I have, okay, here we go. This one first. Revolution Beauty is launching an official Friends makeup line on September 14th, aka tomorrow, I believe. Yes, tomorrow, and it's given Allure a small sneak preview. The collection features 3 9-shade eyeshadow palettes and 3 creamy bullet lipsticks inspired by Phoebe, Rachel, and Monica, respectively. Though the full collection won't be revealed until the launch date, we can show you one of the character-inspired palettes from the collection. The Phoebe palette's packaging is plastered with a picture of the taxi cab she inherits from her grandmother on the show. Inside, you'll find mostly pastel hues and varying finishes with names like Smelly Cat, Lobster, and Triplet. Okay, so, and this I thought was really neat. Each character-based product in this collection, like the Phoebe palette, is designed to provide you with that character's signature look. So we can expect these to all be natural. We looked at each character in detail, what they wear, their mannerisms, yada, yada, yada. You know, they really tried to match them to the person. It says Revolution really nailed the embodiment of the show and the 90s in general. And you can go ahead and read the rest of it later if you're listening. It's basically just saying how they really tried to capture the person's look. Now, this is the one that Revolution gave to Allure to share, and the rest are supposed to be secret until tomorrow. So, at least according to Allure. So, Smelly Cat, there had to be a shade called Smelly Cat. I love this. I think that it's really, you know, it's fun. It's very nostalgic and fun. If you look at this, if you took away the branding of it though, would you buy this? And I think that's where you kind of have to decide, you know, are we like just buying, hold on, let me switch back over to me. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, I didn't mean to switch that over so quickly. Are we just buying things because of nostalgia, which there's nothing wrong with? I buy things because of nostalgia all the time. I've got my little pop collection up there that's all about the nostalgia. Just brought home Doc Brown and the Clock Tower. So excited about that. And Spicoli from, Spicoli from, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I just brought those home. Those are my most recent ones. You know, buying things for nostalgia, there's nothing wrong with it. But like, I just don't want anybody to get in that situation where they're like, they spent the money and then they're like, I'm never going to use this. And also have to keep in mind that Revolution's quality is kind of hit and miss. A lot of times on the miss side. They're very quickly produced. They tend to be lighter pigmented. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're looking at these. Now, there are pictures of the rest of the collection that are on Trend Moods, page that look like they broke embargo. They look like they were given to her. She has the ads of the people that shared them with her. It looks like those are not meant to be out. That's why I will not be showing them. I do not do that on this channel. I feel like it's up to the brand to release that information. And even though I'm sure she's getting tons of hits on it, and it's kind of why she is so popular, is because she's able to get these things before everybody else. But I morally think that that's not an okay thing to do. So so I'm not doing that here. But if you want to go check them out, they are over there. And she has to do what she has to do. That's why she's so popular. That's why she does so well. So you kind of have to decide, you know, as someone who puts these things out there, you know, what you who you want to be. And that's up to her. It's her life. But I personally am not a fan of that. So yeah. So anyway, I am excited about it. I don't know if I'm going to buy any of it just because I don't think that they will be used. The only way I would buy them is if I was going to review them, which I might actually do, buy some stuff and then review it because I think it'll be fun. I didn't see anybody get PR for this. Did you see anybody get PR? But I would imagine if they're trying to keep it under wraps and not show the whole collection, they probably didn't send out PR ahead of time. I used to get Revolution PR. I haven't gotten it in quite a while. Marjorie says it doesn't look like Phoebe or what I remember her wearing as makeup, very unimpressed. I think I remember her doing some of those kinds of, like, they all had really natural looks and all the palettes are very natural looking. Sincerely, LGS. Hey, Lisa, loved Friends back in the day, but we're no longer back in the day. Gotcha. Understood. Jenna says, I watched Friends when it was on, comes off different in different times. Yeah, that's what I've heard about it, is that it does come off differently. Afra says Revolution is the ultimate in buy it for the packaging brand. Oh, totally. Oh my gosh. Like they have some beautiful packaging, gorgeous packaging. When you go into Ulta, at least at my Ulta, they have the display of all the donuts. I think we talked about this in chat last week, all the little donuts and the ones that look like popsicles. And, you know, they're just so incredibly cute with like the silicone on the outside. If I were a teenager, I would probably collect that stuff because the quality really isn't that great. Aaron says, as a big Friends fan, I love it, but trying to cut my expenses, so I probably won't buy it. There you go. Steph says, I know their makeup was very natural. Absolutely. Aaron says, I think they're beautiful. Can't wait. I have a friend going to order for me at midnight because I'll be asleep. Aw, that's nice. That's so nice. Yes, Liz says, nostalgia, give me a Debbie Gibson palette. Oh my gosh. Wouldn't it be great if there was like a Debbie Gibson palette from the same brand and then have a Tiffany palette? Like maybe we could do Debbie Gibson, Tiffany, Madonna. Like we could just like make a Janet Jackson, like line them all up. That would be my dream. We do like a 4 quad, like 4 different palettes. That would be like, yes. Oh, wow. Stacy says, speaking of nostalgia, Jen, did you know Supernatural's Jensen Ackles got to keep Baby when the show closed down? I did not know that. Wow. If you did not know, I'm a big Supernatural fan. I know that the show can be a bit problematic. I've read some things about it. I've enjoyed the show throughout. I've enjoyed the show throughout. It breaks my heart that it does have its problematic aspects that people see in it. I saw that trending on Twitter when they were talking about the last episode coming back, being filmed a couple days ago. But yeah, I think that's only right. And supposedly there are multiple babies, his car from that show. So hopefully they'll have like a museum that we can drive and go visit. That would be amazing. Let's see. Okay, so we've got about 13 minutes left. So let's go ahead and pop topics. Since we already started talking about Supernatural, let's talk about, let's pop topics a little bit. Liz says, we could call it Electric Youth, lots of neon pinks. Yes, I did have the Electric Youth perfume for the longest time. I found it in my parents' attic about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, and I ended up taking a picture of it and throwing it away. But now I kind of wish that I kept it for nostalgia, the original Debbie Gibson Electric Youth perfume. And it still had quite a bit in it too. The Fabulous 202, what was problematic? I don't have my brain fully wrapped around it, but a lot of it has to do like with the issue of queer baiting, which I don't feel like I'm educated enough to explain. But if you look into it, you should be able to find some other things. There's a list of different things that people have issues with the way mostly with the way the characters interact with each other. Yes, Kimberly says it in a Cyndi Lauper one. Oh my goodness, that would be incredible too. Yeah, Girls Just Want to Have Fun was my jam when I was 9. Oh my gosh, 8, 9, like, yes. Oh, Michelle says, holy crap, I'm feeling extremely nostalgic right now. I had the Electric Youth perfume as well. My first CD was Tiffany's Tiffany. We thought that was the coolest dance. We were so cool. Gala says the writers are aware that the fandom is heavy into male-male relationships and played a lot into that without actually writing any canon gay characters, basically. Thank you, Gala. I appreciate you. Thank you for explaining that. Campin Sasquatch says my actual name is Tiffany. It's a great name. It's a wonderful name. Elliot's Girl says my first CD was Hanson. See, that was a little bit past me. Like, they were like too young. I think my second CD was Debbie Gibson's Out of the Blue. My second one. What? Heather says they changed the name of the Jaclyn Hill Vault collection on Morphe. It's now the eyeshadow palette collection. Ooh, I have to go check that out. Really? Let me look. Let me look, because I want to see this for myself. Morphe. Let's all go together. Field trip to the Morphe website. All the ads, pop-ups, go away. I'll pass on 20% off. Let's do Vault. Let me see. Hold on. What did you call it? Let me go back. Eyeshadow palette collection. Let me see. Oh, that's hard to find. I told you I will pass on 20% off. Stop it. Let's just put collection in and see what happens. Collection. There's still plenty of Jaclyn stuff on here. Interesting. I don't see it. I don't know. What if I just type in Jaclyn Hill? Oh, there it is. It says the Jaclyn Hill. Okay, here we go. Oh, it was there. I saw it and then I lost it. There it is. Jaclyn Hill Eyeshadow Palette Collection. It's not called the Vault anymore. Yes. But then if I type in Vault, I wonder why. That's weird. I wonder why. Then they do come up as individuals if I type in Vault, but it just says Morphe and Jaclyn Hill Bling Boss Eyeshadow Palette. It doesn't say anything about Vault. I wonder why. That's weird. Why? I don't know. And Kimberly says looks more like a TikTok dance. This was, okay. If anyone did this on TikTok, they would be laughed off of TikTok. The TikTok dances are so much cooler than what we used to do. You're the Running Man on TikTok. Man, what would life have been like if we had TikTok back in the day? Hi there says, do we know yet how much Morphe owns of Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics? No, not that I know of. Steph says, my first CD was the Toy Story soundtrack. Aww, I love that for you. Rhiannon says, is that because Jeffrey's Vault lipsticks? I have no idea. Oh, I accidentally said it. Michelle says, exclamation was also another perfume that was definitely huge in the US when I was growing up. I did have that one as well. And CK1. CK1 was like the thing. Everybody wore CK1 shirts. Like, it was like popular. And because they showed, the CK1 shirt showed this much of your belly. So it was like being a little sexy without like showing your whole belly. So that was a thing. That was a thing. So we could get away with wearing it at school because it wasn't like wasn't a whole lot of belly. Pharaoh says maybe because people have heard about how bad the vaults were, but maybe won't make the connection to the palettes if they don't have that name. Definitely possible. Definitely possible. Tempted says my first CD was Ace of Base and Lisa Loeb. Oh my gosh. If you are watching this in the replay, leave your first CD down in the comments down below. I want to read it. I want to read, excuse me, what your first CD was. And what your favorite perfume was. Your favorite perfume when you were younger, or your first perfume that you loved. Yeah, Monica had Tommy Girl perfume. Oh my gosh, this is just bringing back all the nostalgia. Let's just nostalgia it up. Let's just talk all about it. Tomorrow we need a puppy break. Unfortunately, there can be no puppy break because my husband is not home to bring the puppy. So one day he'll be back. One day, not anytime soon. He's away with his friends. Nadine says, Jen, stop. This is totally aging me. Love the way down memory lane. Me too. Me too. Barbara's ABBA and ABBA Chloe. Wow. See, I know nothing about ABBA. Change your mind, I'm a in line. I'm still free. Take a chance on me. Isn't that ABBA? I think that's the only ABBA I know. I'm pretty sure that's ABBA. Rizal says, so Jaclyn doesn't know Morphe changed it? I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe she does, maybe doesn't. I don't know. I think it's probably, I would imagine it's probably out of her control at this point. Marty says, Jen, some of us, okay, me, had a first 45 record. Well, if you had a first 45 record, I would love to hear about that. Or a first 8-track. My first 45 record was probably a Sesame Street book on tape, book on CD. Or book on tape, book on CD, book on record. I had a little box, a red box, had all the Sesame Street characters on it, and it had a little clasp and you flipped it open, and I had all my books on records. I had a bunch of little golden books on there. I think it was little golden books. And I had like Disney, a lot of Disney ones. Yep. Patricia, welcome to the Elite. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Wendy says, my first tape was Beastie Boys. Nice. Melly wants to know if anybody played with Pogs. I remember Pogs existing, but I did not play with them. I think that was slightly after my time. Yes, Midtown Brown Style says, my first vinyl record was Kiss Love Gun. Nice. Rod Stewart's If You Think I'm Sexy from Russ. Oh my gosh, really? Your parents let you buy that? Oh my gosh. And Mitch says, my first 45 was Saturday Night Fever. Nice. Another one that I was obsessed with was Boys to Men. End of the road. Oh my gosh. I was obsessed. Obsessed. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. I Am Anime says, Hootie and the Blowfish was my first cassette tape. Oh my gosh. This is great. I love this. All right. Kimberly says Prince was the best. Okay, I have a story about Prince. So I had a Prince tape, and I used to roller skate in my basement. I had a big pole in the middle of my basement, and it was a small basement, but it was like unfinished in that part. It was probably maybe 8 feet long. Maybe 9 feet long. And I would roller skate to the pole and I would swing around it. And I would roller skate to the pole and I would swing around it. And I would roller skate to the pole to a Raspberry Beret. And I'd do it over and over and over and over and over again. Like I would listen to the song, I would rewind it. I would listen to the song, I would rewind it. Obsessed with Prince. Obsessed. I was a huge Michael Jackson fan too. Huge Michael Jackson fan. Except for the Michael Jackson traumatized me in the Thriller video. I am terrified of zombies and I blame Michael Jackson. I used to have nightmares about zombies, and I'm still to this day terrified of zombies, and I believe that Michael Jackson is to fault. I don't know why. Not as scared of werewolves though. I mean, he does turn into a werewolf, but it was the zombies for whatever reason that scared me. I don't know. But I was a huge Michael Jackson fan too. Okay, Elliot's Girl says, if the impersonator of the Prince experience comes near you, have to go. It's incredible. That's great to know. Thank you. Lana says, I was all about New Kids on the Block. Jordan was so popular that I was all about Jonathan. I didn't want to be like everyone else. Yeah, see, I was a Donnie fan. I was a Donnie fan because Jordan was so popular. I did the same thing. Okay, so here's another story. So I was also a huge Poison fan. Huge Poison fan. So when I was in the 7th grade, okay, so 6th grade, I was the kid that like walked around and was like pretty much friends with everybody. I would hop to all the different tables at the end. I would sit and eat my lunch with like the people I hung out with the most. And then I would pop around and just walk around and talk to everybody. And I kind of got tired of that, and I really kind of wanted a friend group for 7th grade. So in the first few weeks of school, I was standing outside of school waiting for the school to start, and I was wearing my Poison t-shirt, and this girl, Aisha, came up to me and she was like, hey, you like Poison? And I was like, yeah, I like Poison. She's like, I like Poison too. Me and my friend Devette, like, we are huge Poison fans. Like, you want to hang out with us? They were in 8th grade. I was in 7th grade, so I thought it was really cool. They wanted to hang out with me, and they became my best friends for that year. So anyway, Devette was a huge Bret Michaels fan, and Aisha was a big Ricky Rocket fan, so I had to pick somebody else. So I ended up with CeCe DeVille somehow, who was not the most attractive one in the band. But he was my favorite. I don't even know if I actually had a crush on him or if he was just, I really liked Bret Michaels, but you know, I couldn't because Devette had already claimed him. So, so that was kind of my story. So I remember we went to, my very first concert was a Poison concert. And it was the three of us and my dad. And I remember we had megaphones. And during a quiet part, I remember shaking and going through the megaphone, "I love you, Cece!" Like it was horrible. And they're playing Unskinny Bop and we're dancing like it doesn't mean what it means. At least I didn't know it meant what it meant. I would imagine they knew. I knew Devette knew because Devette was the first time she showed me my first PORN. So, you know, I'm sure she knew. But but yeah, I didn't really understand what Unskinny Bop meant. If you don't know, it means when you're naked and doing the thing. That's what it means. Like gasoline, you want to pump me and leave me when you get your fill. Yeah. I just sang it like I didn't even know. But yeah, my point was of all of that was I usually ended up picking the less popular person because I didn't want to pick the most popular person. I was kind of the same way. Canuck Girl, New Kids on the Block, Please Don't Go Girl. Yes, that was the jam. See, the problem with what's his name, the guy who sang that song. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue what his name was. Joey? Was it Joey? What was his name? Joey McIntyre. He looked like my cousin. So that was creepy and weird. So like I couldn't like him because he looked too much like my cousin. So yeah. But he was cute. He was. Michelle, Bon Jovi was so amazing. Yes, Bon Jovi was amazing. I really liked Bon Jovi. They were never in my top, but I really liked Bon Jovi. In my top, Aerosmith was always in my top when I was during that phase. Motley Crue was always up there. Poison was always up there. Skid Row, I went through a huge Skid Row thing. I had this huge thing for Sebastian Bach. I had a whole Sebastian Bach wall that I used to get the hit paraders, and I'd cut all the Sebastian Bach posters out, and I had a wall. No one was allowed on it besides Sebastian. That was it. That was my Sebastian wall. It was a time. It was a time. All right. I've had so much fun catching up with you today. I hope that you enjoyed the chat today and had some fun. We are an hour in, so unfortunately it is time to go, but we will be back next week for a live chat. I hope you had fun. And just a final thing about the Patrick Starrr thing. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with critiquing what a YouTuber does, what Patrick does, what any popular YouTuber does. But I think that it's important to remember also that they're human beings and they only need to read the same critique so many times. And when bigger YouTubers get upset about criticism and feedback, you know, keep in mind you may not have read the thing that really upset them. And they may not be getting upset about the things you think that they're getting upset about. There may have been certain things that really hit them hard that maybe you didn't read. So, you know, giving people a break as human beings and really taking into perspective the really serious things that some YouTubers have done. And really taking into perspective some of these things and are they really that big of a deal that we really need to run them over the coals for it? And for me, with Patrick Starrr, I don't feel like he needed to be run over the coals as hard as he has been. You know, yeah, it was a crappy review. All right, let's move on with our lives. That's my thought anyway. But I hope that you guys had a fun time in chat, and I will see you in a video very, very soon. Mad love to you. Have a great week. Stay safe. Bye.